Hey everyone, welcome to Ask Me Monday, episode number 124. I am Vickie Howell and I am so happy as always to be starting off my week with you. We have viewers from all around the world, from Turkey to the US to Canada to the UK to Germany, and what I love about this space is that you can all use the comment board as your personal community board. So if you see someone in your hood, whether you're in Torrance, California, or if you're in Brisbane, Australia, please hook up, hang out, and right now, here and now, you can also let us know how you filled your creative cup a little bit over the weekend. So, of course, it can be knitting or crocheting, but although we mostly focus on that on this show, I love all of the crafty things. So if you drew a little bit, if you painted a little, if you macrameed or woodworked or whatever, please let us know. And as always, if you have a link to share to a tutorial or a pattern, this is the place to do it. It does not have to be anything from me. I love to see what you're making. It really inspires me, and hopefully that will then inspire you, and we can just keep doing that again and again. So I am here in my studio in Austin, Texas. I would love to know where you are watching from. And over the weekend, I worked almost the entire weekend. I had a photo shoot for my forthcoming book called The Knit Vibe, which I'm really excited to be able to share with you. It comes out in October through Abram, so keeping on as far as looking for that. And then yesterday, also all over the weekend, I'm on the judge panel this year for the Telly Awards. So I procrastinated. So I had 60 videos to watch portions of in a very short time. So it was a crazy weekend. So not a ton of crafty time, except I did get to, I promised myself that I was going to lean into just doing some craft time just for me this year. And my friend Amy Small from Knit Collage put up a free pattern for these mitts that I made. They're the Stevie mitts. And so I could do that while I was watching the videos, and they make, you can make one in like an hour or whatever, really easy. Hi, Sherry. Hi, Deborah in Massachusetts. Always good to see you. Becky's in New Jersey. And Joe is in a little town in South Carolina, and it scrolled up, so it's Something Nest, and I missed it, so sorry about that. So good to see all of you, and it looks like Gail's worked on some cross stitch. To Ulla from Finland, so nice to see you here. So if you want to make these, this is not an ad in any way. I just really had fun with it. I love Knit Collage yarns because they do a lot of the work for you. This particular yarn, I think, is called Friendship Bracelet, and it uses a lot of waste yarn, just like fabric scraps and stuff, and that are spun into the wool. So really, really great. Yeah, so you can find that on our Instagram feed at Knit Collage. All right, this episode is brought to you by our friends at Knitter's Pride if you are in North America, Knit Pro if you are elsewhere. They are a great needles, tools, and other amazing accessory company, and they're very supportive to artists, especially female artists in India and the States. In Europe, actually, they're just supportive to artists, and especially us female artists. Okay, so today what we're going to be doing is, last week on Ask Me Monday, we made knit plushie hearts. And so if you missed that, you can go to the playlist on Facebook or on YouTube, and you can look for episode 123. You can also always just go to vickiehowell.com and find it there. This week, I thought we would talk about making a little crochet heart, not a plushie, but a little ornament. So these are really sweet. You can make them as keychains, as just something to hang. You could add a suction cup. You could add them to another present. I made mine in some yarn that I had dyed with avocado, which is actually a really nice blush shade that's great for Valentine's Day. These are all also really nice for Galentine, so sending a little love to your gal or guy friends. These are really sweet to do that with. So I'm going to be making the entire thing with you today. So If you've got crochet hook and yarn in hand, why not join in? But if not, you can always find the written directions and step outs at VickieHowell.com. And if you know anybody else that would be interested in making a crocheted heart ornament, please share this video, especially while it's live. It really helps people be able to find it. All right, so this whole heart is crocheted in one round. I'm going to show you how to do that. And then we're going to be doing a little macrame for the hanger. And this is optional. I just think it adds a little weight to it and a little bit of interest, makes it a bit different than maybe some other ornaments that you've seen. So super fun, and you can whip these up in no time. And I am going to start that right now. So what you need are supplies. You need yarn. It can be any type of yarn, any weight yarn. You will need to double strand it regardless of the weight, though, if you are going to be doing the macrame tie. And I will show you at the end why that is a thing. So keep that in mind when you grab your hook. You're going to want a size that feels appropriate. It does not have to be perfect gauge. It doesn't matter for this, but for a double strand of yarn. So I've got my Knitter's Pride Knit Pro hooks with me here. I've got a couple of, these are Dreams wooden ones. I love these because of how pointy they are. I've got a Zing here. These are just a great, utilitarian hook. And then this is one of their Waves hooks. I think I'm going to use this one. It's a size M13, which is a 9mm, with a worsted yarn, but doubled. So that's why I'm going up big. So I've got my yarn scraps. This is a great project. Again, another project to sort of scrap buster, and my Knitter's Pride Waves hook. Okay, I'm going to flip the camera around now, and then we will get started, and I'm going to walk you through the process of how to make this ornament. Okay. So Angie's saying her granddaughters would love these for hanging on the backpacks. I was absolutely thinking about that for my daughter too. I mean, I don't know where she would put it because holy moly, there's a lot of things hanging from that backpack, but yes, I think it would be very sweet. And you could, of course, make two of these and sew them together and also make plushies. Okay, so we're going to start with a generous tail, say about 12 inches, 10, 12 inches, and that's going to be for our hanger later. And then we'll be using the magic circle method. So to do that, there's different ways that you can do it, but I like to wrap it around my 2 fingers on my non-dominant hand. And then I'm going to bring my hook up under the first strand and grab the second strand and pull that up in a loop. If this is not the way you do it, you do you. But this is how I do it. Okay, so now what we want to do, that's your magic loop, and that, or excuse me, magic circle, wrong craft, that I just undid. Let me do that again. What the purpose of this is that it will really cinch up to your center at the end without you having to worry about the space. And I'll show you what that means in a second. So we're going to chain 3. And again, this pattern is written out at VickieHowell.com. And now we're going to work everything else in the center of this loop. I'm going to adjust the camera. I feel like you're getting cut off a little bit. Okay, so we are going to do 3 triple crochets. If you are in the US, it would be a double treble if you were in the UK. So we wrap around twice, insert, pull through that loop. Now we're secured. And then we're going to yarn over and pull through 2 3 times. And at least in the US, that's why we call it triple crochet, because you're pulling through those 2 loops 3 times. So we just did that once. We want to do that twice more. Once and twice. Oops, I accidentally grabbed my tail. You want to make sure that you are not working with, now that often what we'll have you do is we'll have you go ahead and crochet over the tail so you don't have to weave it in, but we are going to be using that tail later, so make sure that you don't do that. All right, 1, 2, 3, okay. That was actually more than I needed to do. All right, I'm watching all the people talking about how cold it is and all the snow. And I'm just sending so much warmth and love your way. It is actually pretty dang hot here in Texas. Okay, so now we've got our 3 trebles. Now we are going to make 3 double crochets. If you were in the US, it would be a treble if you're in the UK. So that is just a yarn over and pull through the loops, the 2 loops twice. So there's 1, 2, 3. Okay, so this is 1/2 of the heart, which you of course can't really tell now, but just believe in me. All right, now what we want to do is we want to create the, so this is the curve of the heart. We want the point of the heart. And so we're going to make another triple crochet US, double treble UK right here. This is your point. And now what we want to do, this is half of your heart, and you can kind of see it, it's upside down for you, but you can kind of see how it's coming together. So now what we need to do is we need to mirror that. Elaine, I see you're watching and you're going to be so happy. It's crochet day. 50s in SoCal. That's colder than here, which is crazy. Okay, so now that means that we need to do 3 double crochets. 1, 2, 3, and now we need to make 3 triple crochets to mirror this. Angie just asked how long it takes to make one. We'll find out because I started from scratch here. I'm going to guess about 10 minutes, but that is totally just a guess. 1, to do this part, the macrame will add another 5 minutes or so. 2, 3. Okay, and now the very last thing that we need to do to mirror it is we need to create a chain 3 again. We started with a chain 3, so we're going to end with a chain 3. Debbie says, thank you for Crochet Day. My pleasure. I try to even it out as much as I can. So we have that chain 3, and we are going to join it with a slip stitch in that same center loop so that it secures. So it looks like a beginning chain 3 almost. And then we're going to take our tail. So you can see it's pretty heart-like now. But we're going to take our tail and pull it. And you can see how that hole cinches up, and you can keep pulling. And then you're just going to grab your scissors. You want to fasten off, but you want to fasten off leaving a tail that is about the same length as the one that you started. And again, it doesn't matter what size hook you use. It just needs to correspond to a double strand of whatever yarn you use. So I'm finishing that off. And you can pull a little more if you like, and that is your heart. Isn't that so cute? Okay, so from here, you could, straight up, you could just tie this. You could weave these in and not do a tie at all. You could add a crochet chain, but I liked the other aspect of, adding another craft to it, and that is by doing a little macrame. So we're going to do this part right now that you see right here, and it's just 1 macrame knot, and I put the written directions with photos, closer-up photos at VickieHowell.com. So if you're not getting it just this second, no worries. Put a little weight on that heart. It's not that necessary, but we're going to do it that way. Okay, so what you want to do is this is why you needed the double strand right here, because we need 4 strands total to create what is called a square knot. So to begin, you want to take your leftmost strand and fold it over the center 2. It'll look kind of like a number 4. And then under the rightmost strand. Okay, so over the center 2, under the rightmost strand. Now you're going to take the rightmost strand, the one that's hanging down, and it's going to go under the center, and then up through the little loop that you've created by making your 4. And you can see it's kind of like doing a little like scissor wrap around the center too. And then you just pull it until it's pretty taut. Don't go crazy though. All right, we're halfway there. So that's half of your square knot. So now all you need to do to complete it is do the exact same thing in reverse. So this time that means taking our rightmost strand and going over our center 2, so it's a backwards 4, and then under our leftmost. Then we want to take the leftmost strand, come under the center 2, and up through the loop created by that little 4 that we made, and then we pull it taut. And that is one square knot complete. That's all there is to it. So what I did is I kept going. You just keep completing. I think how I wrote it out, it was 6 steps. So you would just complete those 6 steps because I added, you'll see when you see the text at vickiehowell.com. You want to just keep repeating that for, I went for about 2 inches, but you know, this is your project. You should do whatever you're comfortable with. And then from there, after I was done, get this out of the shot, I left a little, a little blank spot of non-knotted yarn, and then I added just a regular plain old knot at the top and trimmed it for the hanging loop. And that is all there is to it. So we just made an entire piece from beginning to end in what, 10 minutes, 12 minutes, something like that. So really fun, really easy, and just kind of a sweet way to share the love. Okay, I'm going to turn around the camera again. So all right. So these are just fun, every once in a while, I think it's really good to just do a cutesy for no reason project, just something that is just about, putting a smile on either your face as the maker or on someone else's face as the recipient. So if you have a girlfriend that maybe needs a little pick-me-up, maybe send one in the mail, that you can absolutely fit one in a card and send it in the mail. If you're using very thin yarn, it would probably work with this weight, but thinner yarn would work better. You can use the fabric stiffener if you want it to be stiff. If you use real chunky yarn, maybe you don't do the tie, maybe you just do it without. If you want to do it for your teenagers, are they going to want it? I don't know, but for my boys, I might torture them. I might use paracord and make one just for fun and just say you don't have to walk around with your mommy's heart everywhere, but in case of emergency, you've got paracord. I don't know. It'd be really cool with leather lacing. Just think outside the box with newspaper yarn, which I've given tutorials for before. Think outside the box. I pre-dyed this yarn with avocado, like I mentioned, but you could use just white cotton and then dip dye it in just plain old Rit dye or in an all-natural dye. Have fun with it. Really easy, not a big risk if everything goes awry. As you saw, it took just minutes and it doesn't take much yarn. So there's really not a financial or time risk. So very, very fun. I have also on vickiehowell.com a bunch of other links on this post to other fun, both knit and crochet Valentine's Day themes. So please check that out, including this fun one. Some of you might remember this from a few years ago. Speaking of Galentines, I did this fun one where I just used laminated paper that I put little messages on, and then I used a hole punch all around it and made these fun little Galentines also. So you can find links to that and wall hangings, and I think I have mittens, all kinds of a cowl, all kinds of ways to show the love, not only to yourself, but also to, someone you want to gift to. I saw somebody, I didn't see the name, so I apologize, who mentioned this shawl. Y'all have seen this before. This is my Torrance triangle shawl that I did years ago for, I had kits for them, but that are not available anymore, but the pattern is available on the Interweave site. I had a Yarncraft little collection with them. So this is also crochet, beautiful. I think it's Madeline Tosh yarn, so lovely to work with, great project. It's called Torrance Triangle Shawl, I believe, and you can find that at Interweave. All right, I think that's all I have for you today. I will be back next Monday, the 11th. I am always open to hearing what you would like me to cover on an Ask Me Monday episode. So please, if you have any ideas, let me know. If you have not already, we have a new episode of Craftish up. We just put it up a few days ago. It's a really nice episode. It is from an interview with Katrina Rodabaugh, who wrote the book Mending Matters. She is a sustainable craft expert and really sort of educated, I know, me, and it was a really interesting conversation about slow fashion and why we should care about what we wear. So just go ahead and listen to that. Subscribe to it if you don't already, and you can find it wherever you get your podcasts. It's everywhere: Spotify, Alexa, Apple Podcasts, all of the things. The last thing I wanted to tell you is that my subscription box business, Yarnier, February coming up. I mean, we're in February, but the box is coming up. We actually ship on Valentine's Day. So that means that I'm doing my unboxing on February 8th here on Facebook. So please stay tuned for that. It's probably going to be at 5 p.m., but I will put up a notice. And that's Central Time. All right, everyone. Thank you so much for taking some time. Thank you for taking a solid amount of time with me. I know that we're all used to now with social media just watching, 60-second videos, and these are usually in the 20-minute or more thing. So it really means a lot to me that you take the time to spend it with me and with your fellow viewers, talking in the comment section and sharing what makes us all feel a little inspired and creative. All right, have a great rest of your week. Please, as always, take a few minutes for yourself to fill that creative well. And until next time, breathe in, craft out. Bye.